So Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, wow, that's a mouthful to say. But that game came out a few months ago by now, and I barely finished it a month ago. So, I'm a bit late to the party. But I still wanted to make a video about it, talking about why I really enjoyed the game and why I think it's a little bit overhated. So yeah, let's just get right into it, shall we? So yeah, the game came out a couple months ago, and lots of people were not happy with the game. Even when it was announced, lots of people were like, this game just sucks. It looks like a worse version of NES Remix, all a bunch of other things. But when the game actually came out, there were a lot of people that were playing it and having fun with the game. I saw lots of people streaming it. Lots of people seemed to be really enjoying the game when all the reviews and all the initial people were like, oh, this game sucks. It's just, again, a worse version of NES Remix. And I think it just proved that, just because a game doesn't give off like a good first impression, maybe to certain people, that doesn't mean it's gonna fail right away. A lot of the times it does, but that doesn't always happen, And I picked up Nintendo World Championships. I'll just call it that because it's a really long name. I kind of hate how long the title is. But anyway, I picked up the game at least a few days, but I think a few weeks after it initially came out. Because I was poor. I did not have money to get it, even though it's only $30. The game is really cheap. But I didn't have money to get it until a little bit later. But when I did get to pick it up, it was actually a whole lot of fun. I played it first on a stream I did, and then I played it a lot on my own along with doing more streams. I was just addicted to this game, and I really enjoyed it. I just did not see the criticism at all for people to hate this game. In fact, even before the game came out, I thought the game looked interesting. I thought it looked cool, and I wanted to pick it up, but lots of people were saying, the same things about how it looks trash, cheap, all this sort of stuff. And, oh my god, look, is this game not NES Remix? Yes. But it's not trying to be its own separate thing, and I think people need to understand that. It has a similar idea of NES Remix, Nintendo World Championships. As it involves NES games, bite-sized challenges, but it's trying to accomplish something different than NES Remix. That series was focused on, remixing elements from different games or, different ways to play these games, and make them more entertaining for a modern audience, basically rejuvenize these old games that we've been playing over and over again. Well, Nintendo World Championships wants to focus on the speedrun aspect of the games, that people love. And it's trying to be, again, a bit similar, but also very different. And that's why I always didn't like it when people compared them so closely, NES Remix and Nintendo World Championships. Not to say that they can't compare them at all, but I'm just saying that they should not compare them like that heavily to each other, saying that, oh, Nintendo World Championship sucks, it's just a worse version of NES Remix, when it's not trying to be that exactly. It's trying to do its own separate thing, But anyway, let's talk about the game's content, what every mode has to offer in Nintendo World Championships. The main star of the show is speedrun mode, which has all the challenges, there's 150 at least, but maybe even a little bit more challenges. And these challenges are really fun. I really enjoyed them. I feel like the main appeal for the game is obviously this mode, because you see that you get better times. And so, if you get better times, you get a better ranking. If you do fine, you get like a B+. If you do better, you get A, and then you eventually get to S+. At first, when I picked up the game, even before I picked it up, I was thinking, I'm not gonna get like an S rank. I'm not gonna do that. I would just get like maybe A, and then that would be it. But something took hold of me as soon as I was playing these challenges, where the first one I did, which was Mario 1, I wanted to get S+. I really wanted to. Or was it S++? I don't know. There's like different rankings. I'm getting confused. I'm not the best reviewer in the world, so take what I'm saying with a slight grain of salt because I suck at describing things. But basically, the highest ranking you could get, I wanted to get it. And something took hold of me, and I wanted to do it for every single challenge. And I think lots of people have the same mindset too, where something takes hold of them and they want to do these challenges faster, faster, faster to get the best ranking. And that's what the beauty of this game shines. If you just do, like, if you just get A on all of the challenges, I mean, I think you'll be fine. You'll enjoy the game for what it is, but you probably won't like it that much as like I did and what other people have. But yeah, that's clearly the main star of the show, speedrun mode. That's where the meat and potatoes of the game is. But there is 2 other modes, technically 3 if you want to be specific. The second mode is survival mode, which is where you play against ghost data of like 7 other players and you fight to be number 1 or whatever. To be honest, this one was fine. This mode was fine. The other modes are fine too, but I vastly prefer speedrun mode. But survival mode had so much potential. When I first saw it, I was thinking it was going to be like a version of Mario 35, but with less players, where you could play against like actual people, you know, and compete. But that's not what it is at all. I mean, it kind of is, but you're playing against ghost data. You're not playing against the actual real people. And that's really disappointing. I feel like they could have done it way better, survival mode. Because, again, survival mode makes me think that it's like real people competing for number 1 when that's not what happens. I just wish it was like again, a version of Mario 35. I think it's underwhelming, but it's still fine, survival mode. Next up is World Championships, which is, of course, what the name of the game is on. And this one, you do a couple challenges in a row to get the best times against the world. And you have like leaderboards and all that stuff. I can see the appeal for this one, honestly, but I still think it's a little bit underwhelming compared to like speedrun mode personally. But I can at least see him compared to survival mode. And last but not least, this is a bonus thing. This kind of is not like part of the main 3 modes, but it is something extra. That being Legendary Trial, whatever it's called. There's like a 4th mode where you go against all of the legendary challenges, which are the hardest challenges like in the game, in a row, for the best time. This mode is probably better than Survival and World Championships mode personally, even though it is just a one and done thing. With the other Survival mode and World Championships, it's technically rotating challenges every week or whatever, although they're only the same challenges that you already played in the speedrun mode, so that's a little disappointing. But at least they're rotating. But with the Legendary Trial thing, it's just the same challenges. You try to improve the best times, and I think that kind of gives it a unique flavor. I really enjoyed doing it. I did pretty good for the most part. There were like 3 or some challenges that I did not get like S or A, which is disappointing. But I still did pretty decent. I think my best time was like 30 minutes or something, 28. I don't remember exactly. But it was good. It was fine. I could obviously do better, and I was thinking about maybe doing it faster, but I don't know if I will personally. But it is something that is in my mind. Like, maybe I will do this. But yeah, I think that the fact that it's the same challenges kind of makes it better in a weird way, even though, of course, the rotating challenges offer more variety for the survival and world championships modes, but that could just be me. But even so, I will say that even though it's nice to have rotating challenges, you know, in certain ways, again, I'm kind of weird, like, I prefer the same challenges. Even if it's fine to have them rotating, I really wish that there were unique challenges for the speedrun mode and World Championships, because again, it's just the same challenges from speedrun mode, and I wish it was just something different. I want something new, some new challenges. Like, it wouldn't have been that hard, right, to make some new challenges, or at least making them slightly different from how they usually work in speedrun mode. I don't know, maybe I'm expecting too much for this game, but I really did enjoy it, even though it does have some issues here and there. Oh, and there's another thing about the game. It has customization. You could choose the title of your favorite NES game. It has lots of tags like, Nintendo DS generation, or like my saying is number one at something, probably. Like, I love the customization, and there's of course pins, character icons, which you can unlock using the coins that you earn from getting good times from the various modes. And I haven't even gotten all of the stuff yet. That's why I kind of bothered with the speedrun and the World Championships mode, to be honest, because those are technically a little bit different. They're a little bit new, even though it's just repeating the same challenges you already did, but it is putting them in a new way to fight against other players. And so you get coins from that, and I use those coins to buy some of the remaining items that I need to get, some of the remaining icons. So that kind of has a purpose, but after I'm done buying all the icons, I probably won't play the game ever again, which is, I barely even played it like recently. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but I mean, I had a good time with the game, and not every game needs to be able to constantly play it endlessly. There's a lot of games that's fine to do with. There's a lot of games that I love that you can play constantly forever, whether it be single player stuff or multiplayer things. But sometimes I want a mix of like a game that you can just finish. It takes a decent bit to complete, and maybe you have some stuff here and there to do left over, but after that there's really no need to play it anymore. And sometimes that's fine. And I think this game is perfect for that, especially because it is $30. It is on the cheaper side. So yeah, I think this game is really worth it, and I think this game is a good game, and it gets overhated by a lot of the Nintendo community, at least when it first came out. I think more people are a little bit more positive on the game nowadays, especially because there were lots of people playing it when it came out. They were streaming it, but I still saw some of those same people that were criticizing the game before it came out still saying the same thing after the fact, saying that oh, the Switch is gonna die, there's no new games, this is the only new game, and it's like boring as heck. This was before the Nintendo Direct, where we got Mario and Luigi, Metroid Prime 4. We got the new Zelda game announced. Like, I had a lot of stuff in the Nintendo Direct. Like, that kind of led people to forget about Nintendo World Championships. In some ways, I feel for the worst, because I think this game is underrated, but in some ways for the best, because a lot of the people that were focusing on the game were not liking the game at all, so just negative talk. I don't know. I might be rambling at this point. The point being, I think this game is good. I liked it. Probably won't be playing it for too much longer. I'll probably continue playing it every so often to get the pins that I need, the icons, by doing the World Championships and survival mode. But that's fine. That's totally fine. I recommend this game. It's a cheap game. I think if you give it a chance, it'll be fun. Even if you don't care about like retro stuff or speedrun stuff, I think you'll have a good time with it. But that's just my opinion. Let me know if you played the game, if you enjoyed it or not. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next time for more. Peace. Bye, everyone.